Just days after his fight with Canelo Alvarez was officially announced, Terence Crawford has been urged by numerous boxing professionals to cancel the bout and take a tune-up fight instead. Among the first to issue a warning was Canelo's legendary trainer, Eddie Reynoso, who boldly predicted a knockout victory for his fighter. Despite being the undisputed middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez's lackluster performance against William Skull in early May raised questions about his current form. Even so, his trainer Eddie Reynoso remains confident, firmly believing that Canelo will knock Terence Crawford out. Speaking with Ali Sekbak of S News, Reynoso made his stance clear, declaring, "We're going to win by knockout." When asked which round the knockout would occur in, Reynoso declined to specify, simply stating, "Whichever round it may be, but we're going to knock him out this time." Acknowledging Crawford's talent, Eddie Reynoso admitted, "Crawford is a tremendous fighter, very complete. However," he insisted, "that day, you're going to see a different Canelo." With this statement, Reynoso dismissed concerns over Alvarez's underwhelming performance against William Skull, where critics noted his unusually low punch output. Even Alvarez himself called the fight boring, having thrown just 152 punches compared to Skull's 293. Looking ahead to his showdown with Crawford, Canelo expressed hope for a more exciting bout, saying, "I hope September brings a different kind of fight." While Reynoso remains brimming with confidence, some experts believe Crawford has a real path to victory. Former trainer Jeff Mayweather, for instance, believes Crawford's best chance lies in keeping his distance and avoiding a slugfest with Alvarez. Trainer Derek Bozienis echoed a similar sentiment, stating that if Crawford can frustrate Canelo and control the pace, he could pull off an upset victory. While predicting a winner remains difficult, one thing is certain: if the fight lives up to expectations, the fans will be the real winners. However, not everyone is enthusiastic about the matchup. Former WBA super lightweight champion Rolando "Raleigh" Romero isn't convinced, not because the fight is happening, but because of how he expects it to unfold. Romero hasn't held back his opinions about Canelo's upcoming fight and his opponent, Terence Crawford. Appearing on the Pound for Pound podcast, Romero didn't hesitate to lump Crawford in with Devin Haney when asked about the 37-year-old's chances against Canelo. Confidently, he remarked, "They have weight divisions for a reason," making it clear that he's firmly in Canelo's corner. However, when co-host Henry Cejudo pressed him on the success of boxing's only 8-division champion, Manny Pacquiao, who famously moved up through weight classes, Romero had a simple explanation ready. Manny Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once, Romero argued, pointing to Crawford's leap from welterweight to super middleweight. However, there may be a flaw in Romero's logic. The Filipino legend did in fact move up 3 divisions after his second career loss to Boonsai Sangcharat. Following that defeat at flyweight, Pacquiao jumped up to super bantamweight, capturing the WBC International Super Bantamweight title in December 1999 against Riananti Jamali, a dramatic 3-division climb. When pressed to elaborate on his prediction for the Canelo-Crawford fight, Romero doubled down. "I don't know, man. It might be the most boring fight ever, or it might be the best fight ever," Romero admitted. He explained that he generally doesn't find Crawford's fights particularly entertaining, saying, "Crawford is not really entertaining." Still, Romero gave credit where it was due, acknowledging Crawford's raw boxing talent. It's also worth noting that Canelo's recent fight against William Skull exposed some vulnerabilities. He's no longer as light on his feet and struggles to cut off the ring as effectively, flaws that Crawford's slick and elusive style could exploit. Nevertheless, Romero echoed a sentiment similar to Devin Haney's, suggesting he sees Crawford and Haney as cut from the same cloth. Rolando "Raleigh" Romero isn't interested in facing Devin Haney anytime soon, claiming the former undisputed champion doesn't bring enough excitement or star power to justify a major fight. Fresh off his stunning victory over Ryan Garcia in Times Square, Romero told TMZ Sports that Haney simply doesn't move the needle. "Haney wasn't a big fighter to begin with," Romero said. "He wasn't a big fighter when he fought Ryan, and he's definitely not a big fighter after he just became a track star," he added, taking a jab at Haney's defensive style. Questioning the appeal of a matchup with him, Romero asked bluntly, "So you tell me real quick, are you excited to see anybody fight Devin Haney?" Romero asked, questioning Haney's drawing power. Instead, Romero seems more focused on a potential rematch with Gervonta Davis, claiming he's a completely different fighter since their 2022 clash. For now, he's still riding high from his career-defining victory and awaiting the chance to celebrate properly. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez continues to enjoy strong support despite his underwhelming performance against William Skull earlier this month. But do you agree with Romero's take that Terence Crawford is boring? Ryan Garcia, for one, has made his opinion crystal clear regarding a potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, leaving no room for ambiguity. In a recent interview, Ryan Garcia, known for his controversial remarks, didn't hold back when discussing Terence Crawford. Speaking to SecBackers News, Garcia called Crawford an overhyped bum, and confidently predicted that Canelo Alvarez would emerge victorious if the two ever faced off in the ring. Garcia went further, accusing Crawford of being a boring fighter who doesn't deserve the attention he gets, claiming, "He's just stealing boxing's money." The young fighter, currently serving a doping suspension, even went as far as to challenge Crawford directly, saying, "Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking expletive." Garcia's remarks were especially bold considering his ongoing suspension and the controversy surrounding his failed drug test earlier this year. Unsurprisingly, Garcia was unequivocal in his verdict and didn't hesitate to call out one of boxing's superstars to face him if they disagreed. "Terence Crawford is not like that," Garcia told Us News. "Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum. I'm sorry, but somebody's got to say it. You're an overhyped bum. I'm looking at the camera right now. You freaking suck. Bro, stop acting like you're all that. Stop stealing boxing's money and wasting everybody's time. You're not entertaining. You're boring as hell. Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking nonsense. I can do it any time, bro. Despite his harsh words, Garcia remains confident about the possibility of a fight with Crawford happening someday. I could definitely see Crawford. What do you mean? He added, leaving the door open for the potential matchup. I was one of the best fighters in the amateurs, bro. And he was too, Garcia said. I've seen many fighters like him. I don't care if he can take away my left hook. I can find a way to get to him. He's not that good. He gets hit a lot, gets wobbled. He's not untouchable. If a fight between Garcia and Crawford does come together, it would almost certainly be at a catchweight. For now, Garcia's target remains Terence Crawford, who has been seeking a fight with Canelo Alvarez in 2025, although the Mexican star has yet to accept the challenge. Ryan Garcia claims he's already reached out to Terence "Bud" Crawford, aiming to prove that Crawford isn't as good as people think, while teasing him with the promise of a big payday. As for Bud Crawford, I already called him. I think he's just trying to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, but I don't think that's going to happen, Garcia said. Have you ever fought someone with one-punch knockout power? No. That's why I think Bud Crawford is overrated. I'd love to fight Bud. I don't think he's as good as people say. If Bud is listening, I'd like to fight you. I'd give you a beating, Garcia stated, referring to the undefeated WBC and WBO welterweight champion. King Ryan left the decision up to Crawford on whether the fight would happen, but made it clear that if the undefeated champion accepted, he would receive a significant payday. If he doesn't want it, it's not my fault. He's boring as hell. But I'd probably give him the biggest paycheck of his life if he takes the fight, Garcia stated. Roy Jones Jr., one of the most dominant boxers of his era, remains invested in the careers of the new generation of boxing stars. Among them, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez stand out as two of today's best pound-for-pound fighters. The idea of a potential matchup between the two has captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. Terence Crawford, a four-division world champion, has expressed interest in facing Canelo Alvarez, the reigning super middleweight king. However, the significant weight disparity between the two presents a major challenge for Crawford. In an interview with Mile High Boxing, Roy Jones Jr. shared his perspective on this hypothetical matchup. While praising Crawford's talent and skills, the legendary boxer leaned toward Canelo as the favorite. I like Terence, but I'm going to lean toward Canelo because of his size early on. However, if he lets Terence get into the fight, Terence is going to be a problem, Jones Jr. said. If Terence can deal with the size, he will beat him. Jones Jr. emphasized the importance of Canelo's punching power as a decisive factor in the fight. That's what I'm saying. We don't know until we see Terence get hit, because we haven't seen him get hit with that kind of power, he explained. That's the deciding factor. If you can change Bud's fight plan, you've got a chance of beating him. But if you can't hurt him, you can't change his fight plan, and you've got problems. This analysis highlights Crawford's critical need to neutralize Canelo's renowned power. If Crawford can impose his technical boxing skills and avoid Canelo's devastating punches, he could have a chance to pull off a historic upset. While a potential fight between Canelo and Crawford remains a dream matchup for fans, Canelo is currently focused on preparing for his next bout. The International Boxing Federation interim champion, William Skell, has been mentioned as a possible opponent. This wasn't always Roy Jones Jr.'s stance, though. The Hall of Famer, now a promoter, trainer, and respected analyst, had previously shared scenarios in which he believed both Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could beat Alvarez, before later revising his prediction. He began with David Benavidez, saying, "It's a tough fight to call because Benavidez throws a lot of punches. Sometimes power can intervene and change the situation," Jones said in an interview with boxingscene.com. "The problem is Canelo willing to take the risk? I don't really think he will right now because I don't think he feels like he has a reason to. If he can't hurt Benavidez early, in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I don't see him winning that fight." The two-time 168-pound titleist, Benavidez, has been pushing hard for a shot at Alvarez over the last 2 years. Formerly recognized as the best welterweight in the world, Terence Crawford is open to moving up 2 weight classes for a chance to face the Mexican star Canelo Alvarez. Meanwhile, Alvarez maintains that a win over Crawford would do little for his legacy. Still, many believe Crawford has a real shot at pulling off the upset. "If anybody can do it and pull it off, it's Crawford, so you can't tell him no," said Roy Jones Jr. "I was the kind of guy that if someone said they were better than me and I could get close to their weight, here I come. I gave John Ruiz 33 pounds when I won the heavyweight title in 2003. I didn't care. I wanted to prove that I was pound for pound the best and to do something historic that had never been done." That's probably how Bud feels right now. He wants to do something historic to solidify his legacy in boxing. Who doesn't want to see the pound-for-pound best from yesterday fight the pound-for-pound best from today? Who wouldn't want to see that fight? It's a mega fight if he puts on the muscle and weight. How can you doubt him? One thing's for sure, he's going to go out there and fight, not just collect a paycheck. He's going to try to win because that's who Bud is. If he carries the weight, it'll be a good fight. He can box just like Floyd Mayweather, but he can also fight. He hits and doesn't get hit. If he can take the punch at that weight, he'll probably win the fight. Here's a polished and clear version of your final paragraph. Jones, who fluctuated in weight during the latter half of his career as a four-division title holder, advised that Alvarez should continue his career at super middleweight. It's definitely best that Alvarez stays at 168. I didn't understand why he went to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol anyway, Jones said. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career. Bivol was in the middle of his. They are two different animals. He got the crusher at the right time. Go back down and dominate where you are. Don't try to fight another one because lightning isn't going to strike twice. That's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop quality content like this.